So we were kicked out of B46 by girls fencing, so we're continuing in the gym. So we just ended with a pressing kick, which I know I told you you go in a half section and you drop as loud as possible, and that's your pressing kick. Alright, so after that...
You did hook.
I know, Jody, our cinematographer. Anyway, so the next thing we're going to do is a double front kick. So you know, I taught you the front kick. Very simple, continue straight. Now your double front kick progresses very much the same way, except what you're going to do is once you kick, you're going to bring the other one up. Alright, so this is possibly the flashiest kick we're going to be doing. So, again, I don't expect you to get as high as I do, but I would really like it if you practice it as much as possible. The important thing is don't focus on getting such a pretty kick on your first one. The whole thing is for the second kick to give the most impact. So I'm going to do it as slowly as I possibly can. Jump, kick. Alright? So it's eventually going to look like that. Okay? Cool. Alright, so after the double front kick, the next combination we're going to use is a roundhouse leading into a back kick. Alright, remember, roundhouse and back kick. Okay, so our progression of this is a roundhouse and spin back kick. Yay! Okay, that's what it's going to look like. Fast motion, and then really intense, like, dance or whatever in intimidation. So, once again, we face in a 90-degree angle to the right, pivot, bring the roundhouse, and now what you're going to do is you're going to step it like you would for a back kick. And both feet are parallel, and lift, and then bring back to your original position to the opposite side. Alright, so that's our second combination, and I think that's the only combination I'm going to teach you on this video. The rest I'm going to figure out as we choreograph the entire thing. So just some general flashy things I would like you to know is how to be able to get into this position. I forgot what this is called, but the point being, you bring both sides, one pointing down to hell, one pointing up to heaven, and this is going to be about your chest area, and this is going to be where your fist twist. You're going to keep it at your belt, and what you do is you get into this kind of stance, and this is a cat stance, and the reason it is because you are ready to pounce like a cat, I believe. So what you do is at a 45 and a 90-degree angle, you have your set foot, and then this one continues just like a step apart, and then you bend both. And once again, you have most of the weight on your back leg. Alright? So once you add it in, it goes like this, heaven and hell, extended, bring these together so your wrists are on the same line. Alright? So the whole thing goes like that. So that's our first one. And our second one is going to be a grasshopper. So this is your handstand. You have two fingers pointing down as if the man is walking, and you stick your thumb upwardly in between them. Alright. Woo! Okay. So what you're going to do is very much like you did the circle with heaven and hell. You're going to do the same thing, except it's going to end up like this. Now you're going to have this one extended from your stomach, this one well in front of you, and you're going to do a traditional back stance, which is the second one I taught you. And it's going to look like that. And that is our grasshopper stance. I don't know how often or if you will actually use this, but it is good to know. The last one is going to be the life and death, and that is, it's like a back stance, except these are pointing the opposite way, as if you were to make a V if you were to extend it. And what you do is you bring across and down. Now your bottom hand is going to be on your navel, which is birth, and solar plex, which is death. Because if you were to hit the solar plex as hard as possible, you would instantly die because your heart would stop beating. Cheery stuff. So the movement becomes out and circle into life and death. Alright, so that's our third one. And I think that is all I'm going to show you for now. I'm just going to do a recap of everything we've done. So we've done 2 stances. Front stance, lean forward, transition that into a back stance, which is generally done like this, scissor block. Alright, we have 4 blocks at our disposal. We have a down block, cross into it. We have a high block. We have an in block. Outside block. Okay? And then we have many kicks. The first is a front kick. The second is a round kick. The third is a side kick. The fourth is a back kick. The fifth will be a crescent kick. And then we have our combination, which is a double front kick. And then we have a roundhouse into a back kick. Okay? And then we have our pretty poses. We have heaven and hell. We have grasshopper. And we have life and death. Okay? And thank you.